Sharks are a species of animal so fierce, so intimidating, and so dominant that for the past 400 million years, they haven't needed to evolve. In fact, 35 to 50 million years ago, the hammerhead came about, and that was the last evolution that sharks have seen since. Because sharks are such an intimidating creature, it's no surprise that they make for some great movies. The first one I can think of off the top of my head is Jaws in 1975. Jaws, along with Star Wars some 4 years later, changed the Hollywood industry forever. They were the ones that really proved to these executives that these high-budget, easy-to-follow action movies with a lot of violence thrown in between, they do well. We see movies today such as the Fast and Furious franchise and Marvel. You know, that's what they do. It's high budget, easy to follow plot lines. And that's all because of Jaws. But today I'm not going to talk about Jaws, no. I'm going to talk about shark movies and why they kind of stopped after Jaws and the Jaws franchise. There was a sequel to Jaws that did pretty well at the box office, made around half of what Jaws made. There was Deep Blue Sea in 1999 that did really well, but they haven't been as popular as I once thought they would be, you know? Shark movies just haven't really been the it topic in Hollywood. Despite not being a popular subject for movies, sharks seem to do really well in the made-for-TV movie sphere. The reason I think this is because of Shark Week. They're coming up on their 35th year doing this stuff, and in 2010, Shark Week had hit its peak with 30.8 total viewers over the course of 7 days. Damn! That is a lot of people wanting to watch sharks. Because of the success that Shark Week had, other networks such as the Sci-Fi Network saw that they could make profit by running shark movies. And that's exactly what they did. The Sci-Fi Network had always been really known for their crappy made-to-TV monster movies where Killer Croc may kill a bunch of teenagers and it's all in crappy CG. It's so bad it's hilarious. It barely costs the Sci-Fi Network to produce some of these movies, and everyone kind of wins. So today I am going to look over 3 of those shark movies and kind of give you a rundown of the plots, what I liked about them, what were just like unforgivable acts of sin, and there are a couple of those. But yeah, I'm just going to talk about these, let you know what they are, what they're like. You should watch these with your buddies or whatever. Strap in, because this one is about to be a wild ride. Don't say I didn't warn you. Dinoshark was released in March of 2010 to an audience of roughly 2 million viewers. This movie was directed by Kevin O'Neill, who had done Dino Croc for the Sci-Fi Network some 6 years earlier, and starred Eric Balfour, who was in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake in 2003. So it's not like this movie didn't have some sort of backing. They have a D-list actor. They know this director. He had made a successful movie for them in the past. So coming into this movie, I thought, yeah, it'll be fun. I don't know. But it's kind of a slog, I'm not gonna lie. What did you... It's Dinoshark. The movie is called Dino... Did you expect Martin Scorsese? A glacier breaks off into the ocean, releasing some sort of egg, and a bunch of tadpoles pour out. And Dinoshark is now in the waters, people. That's how the movie starts. That's all you really need to know. And boom, it's some random dude on a boat. It breaks off and hits his boat, so he has to go underneath the water and try to fix it in scuba gear, and you get these shots of him in the Alaskan waters, and immediately I was kind of like, ooh, what's gonna is Dinoshark just gonna like kill him in this scary way right now? That's not what really happens at all. I'm being honest. I hate to burst your bubble, but yeah. We see Dinoshark, his shadow, and it's like this weird slow-mo shot. The CG in this movie is so god-awful. He's dead or whatever, and you get the shot of the boat. Dinoshark just like jumps out of the water like a victory dance. I don't know. It was just really jarring, and I didn't know what was going on, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. Dinoshark for you people. We're then transported to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. I'm at the beach. Oh shit, there's a shark killing all my friends. It's kind of like that. All these movies are that vibe, if I'm being real. We get to some sort of harbor and we're introduced to Trace, played by Eric Balfour. He's like this treasure hunter guy or something. It's not really explained what he does. Ultimately, like a police officer comes up and is like, hey, you can't sleep here. But then he's like, but what if I can? And then he's like, fine. So it's like, why the did that even happen? Who cares? Let's move on the plot. After this, we get some stock footage of some dudes on jet skis, and there's this one piece of footage that's really funny. It just looks like a guy wipes out, and they just added the Dinoshark in like post to make it look like the Dinoshark eats him in midair. It's just like, okay, that happens. I guess it's kind of funny. But yeah, Dinoshark people. We then go back to our main character, Trace, and he's at a bar now. This is where we meet the other characters. Carol, she's like the second most important. Luis, he's the third behind Carol and Trace. And then there's Rita and the Australian dude, Steve. And those two, they don't really have much screen time, so it doesn't really matter who they are. Carol's this water polo instructor at a resort nearby. She teaches these kids about water polo or whatever. And she has this meeting with this student, Michael Kirshner, who I guess is like the head of the resort. He basically asks Carol if she would be down to have a water polo game out in the marina. She goes, yeah, it's all right, I'll ask my team. And the team's like, yeah, we'll do it. Rita goes to the beach alone. She gets killed by Dinoshark. It's this whole scene. She was like surfing on her own. Her body shows up and it's just totally terrible CGI. Dinoshark, he jumps out of the water again. It's really jarring and weird, and it's like, why even add it? I didn't wake up today thinking I'd see a jumping Dinoshark out of the water, but here we are. We find out that the Coast Guard has been following Dinoshark for a while. He's got some sort of tracker on him. And it turns out from the dude from Alaska who he killed at the beginning, he had some sort of tracker on because every boat has that. He ate the guy and the guy took it out in the water just in case he goes overboard, whatever. It doesn't matter. It does not. Dinoshark is being tracked. Coast Guard is going to get involved at some point. That's all you really need to know. Trace is then out in the open water just kind of vibing. I don't know. He's just out there chilling. But when all of a sudden he sees Dinoshark, immediately he goes back to the shore, goes back to Luis, the bartender, who's also his best friend, and is like, I saw this thing. I saw him. And Luis is like, yeah, bro, I'm not believing that you saw a half dinosaur, half shark. Who the do you think I am? What do you think this is? Zootopia? What are we doing here? And that's basically what Luis thinks until they see a news report that says Rita is deceased. Half her body showed up on shore, and they're all sad about it. Carol is there, by the way. Steve is... No one cares about Steve. Trace, Carol, and Luis, they all see on TV that Rita has washed up on shore dead. They're obviously devastated about this revelation, and Trace is convinced that it's Dinoshark. He just saw Dinoshark, so he's like, okay, I'm going out there and I'm killing him myself. I don't give a I'm a badass. I'm a treasure hunter. I'm a pirate. Arg, walk the plank, because I'm going out there with my grenade launcher and smoking his, and that's more for later. We then cut to a scene and boom, it's our boy Steve. Steve is finally back. He's getting more than 2 minutes of background screen time. He's got this bad side piece with him, his little shoddy. Anyways, Dinoshark kills her, and then Steve goes looking into the water all bent over like, where are you? And obviously Dinoshark pulls him in, and yeah, they're gone. R.I.P. You won't be forgotten. Psych, you totally will be forgotten because you're like the 5th most important character in a sci-fi movie. So Carol and Trace are out in the water trying to find this Dinoshark. I think Luis is there. They're on the boat spewing some exposition when suddenly they find the beacon tracker from the dude from Alaska. We get back to Carol's place. She's up at night doing some research on the computer, and she finds out about this dude named Dr. Reeves, who is some sort of marine biologist in her area. While looking on his website, she finds this weird DeviantArt sketch of Dinoshark. She's like, okay, I gotta call up this dude and book a meeting. So she does. By the way, Carol has not seen what Dinoshark looks like up until this point. There hasn't been anything on the TV that would suggest what Dinoshark may look like. Why not just make that scene with Trace? Because Trace has seen Dinoshark. Am I missing something here? Am I going insane? I feel like I'm going a little insane. I feel like I'm going nuts. I feel like I'm going a little cuckoo off the wall because I'm trying to follow the plot of Dinoshark and it's not making much sense, which, honestly, that's on me. But still, they get this meeting with Dr. Reeves and he basically tells them, yeah, there's no concrete evidence. I just put that up there because I thought it was a good drawing. I've been on a DeviantArt for a little bit, trying to work on my craft a little bit. You liked it? He's like, yeah, there's no evidence, but they're like, all right, well, this has his DNA on the emergency beacon. Can you research that? And he's like, sure, why not? I've got time on my hands. I'm a marine biologist. I've got dolphins outside my window. I don't give a shit about anything. They give it to him and they off for a little bit. They're back on the boat. Trace is doing the thing that Chief Brody did in Jaws, where he's chucking fish guts out in the water, and then they see Dinoshark. You know that scene? They're like, oh, we gotta get him. Maybe 2 miles off the coast of a resort, Trace starts taking out a sniper rifle and just aimlessly pointing it into the water, trying to shoot Dinoshark, which I don't know is gonna work out too well for you, buddy. Especially shooting it right where a bunch of families and children are hanging out in the water, maybe. Dinoshark is hitting all the jukes, all the moves, all the spin moves. He makes his escape because a dude is trying to shoot a sniper rifle off at him. The police chief arrives because obviously he's like, what the f*** are you doing shooting off a sniper rifle in resort waters, you? And he's like, yeah, you're gone forever, buddy. Get out of the water for good. And then Trace is like, oh no, but Dinoshark. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. I've never seen Dinoshark. You've probably taken too many magic mushrooms in your youth, and now you're seeing in the water. I don't care, buddy. Get out of my water. That's all this guy wants. It kind of makes sense that he's a bit of an to this treasure hunter pirate dude. I don't know. Dinoshark then kills just like a young couple in their mid-20s on this kayak, and you don't see too much. The girl dies in this like stupid way where it's like pans into her face screaming. That wasn't needed for Dinoshark, all right? We then get back to Dr. Reeves, who's having some sort of fiesta get-together for all his co-workers, and it looks like a fun time. He finds this random scientist and he's like, hey, is it possible that a fossil could return to water and the eggs get out? And he's like, well, it's improbable, but it is possible. And then Dr. Reeves is like, oh, Dinoshark is actually in the water. This actually happened. I gotta let these kids know that they're with a gorilla, a silverback, in the water. Because Trace is kicked out of the open waters, he tells Luis and Carol to meet him by the dock. They all get into a car together and go to Steve's house to see what's going on with Steve. And when they get there, he's nowhere to be found because, surprise, surprise, he died a while ago. Carol sees Steve's girlfriend's hat in the water, and then Dinoshark just takes it down, so they know he's in the canal. It's either Trace or Luis or Carol, one of the three. They're like, we have to get to this one part to put in a pontoon. It's just a way to get Dinoshark to not go into resort waters. They get to a point further down in the canal. There are some workers working there, and they tell the guy, you gotta put it down now or else Dinoshark's gonna kill everyone. So he does. They get it successfully. The police chief, Victor, he's there. He's like, there's no such thing as Dinoshark. Again, you guys are idiots. Get out of the water. They're like, no, Victor, you have to believe us. Dinoshark is here. And then all of a sudden, Dinoshark jumps the pontoon, so it wasn't even really needed in the first place. Dinoshark has jumped out of the water every time like he's a dolphin after every kill he has, so could have seen this coming from a mile away. Dinoshark jumps over the pontoon. Victor is forced to realize that, yeah, it's a real thing, because one of his policemen get killed, and now Victor's like, okay, we're gonna kill him. He's now in resort waters, but don't do anything about it. Some more units come. There's even a helicopter, but again, Dinoshark can jump out of the water. So he takes it down, RKOs that straight into oblivion. You see the explosion. Trace, Carol, and Luis all get back into the car and start chasing down this Dinoshark. They're just following it, seeing where it's gonna go, when it's gonna hit the actual resort waters, because they're terrified about that. And by the way, Carol's team has a game in the marina. We see Dr. Reed's back in his lab, and it's confirmed to him that this is Dinoshark DNA on the emergency beacon. So immediately he's like, this thing is like in open waters. People are gonna die, as if they haven't already. More so are gonna get it, and it's not gonna look good. They get to their designated point, and Luis pulls out a rocket launcher. Where the f are you getting a rocket launcher, dude? You've got a sniper rifle, a rocket launcher. Trace has got the sniper rifle. We see a grenade launcher later and grenades. Now I understand why Victor kind of hates you, because I don't think anyone good has this type of artillery on them just randomly. He doesn't know that Dinoshark is going to come to Puerto Vallarta before this all happens, so he just has all this. I don't think someone who just casually owns a rocket launcher is that upstanding of a citizen, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Who knows? It's Puerto Vallarta. They may do it differently down there. But yeah, he misses Dinoshark with the rocket launcher, obviously, and Dinoshark is on a beeline to this resort and this water polo game. We get back to the resort. Our boy MK, he's showing people around. There's some sort of resort party, and he checks on the water polo team. He's like, oh, where's your coach? And they're like, we don't know. Meanwhile, she's trying to kill this absolute monster of a creature, but then they're like, yeah, you know what, we practice, so we can just go out there without a coach. Which, I've never been a part of a sports team where if the coach isn't there, you're not gonna just continue playing, right? I don't know. So yeah, the water polo game starts and Dinoshark shows up immediately. They all die. They don't all die. Like 3 of them die. Carol gets there. She jumps into the water to save one of them. And then Luis jumps in to just distract Dinoshark while she saves them. And then Luis dies. RIP, bro. And then we get this weird sequence of events where Carol has this PTSD flashback where the screen gets all blurry and you can barely hear anything, and then Trace has to come up to her and be like, and then snaps her out of it just by saying her name. Is this supposed to be Saving Private Ryan? What the f are we doing here? Trace is ultimately like, we have no time. We gotta go, Carol. We gotta get back on the boat. Starting our final act. Trace has absolutely zero reaction to his best friend dying, which I know they're on a time crunch and it's Dinoshark, but still, I feel like there would be at least one line where Trace is like, "Fucking Luis, man." Show that he cared a little bit about him. It's like, why even have Luis if he doesn't matter at all, if he's not really important to the well-being of our main character? I don't know. They get a call from Dr. Reed's right before they start chasing Dinoshark, and basically he tells them, yeah, just aim for the eye. That's the weak part on his body. Dinoshark makes his way to a public beach. He jumps out of the water, capsizes this tour boat, and then everyone out on the beach kind of f***s off. Dinoshark ends up killing everyone on board except for one kid, and he's just like, help me. So we're left with this kid, and then they're like, oh, Dinoshark's gonna kill him, and Trace is like, not on my watch. So he makes his way out there on the boat. He's got a grenade launcher now. He's he's chucking grenades. Most of this movie, it's just boring as hell, but this ending scene I kind of like, because you're like, you know what, it's the end of the movie. They're gonna show us some fun action. I'm ready for it. Dinoshark also kills this parasailer who's just vibing. He's up in the wind or whatever. A dude on a jet ski gets it. He dies. Our main character, Trace, he makes his way onto the jet ski with a bunch of grenades and gets really close to Dinoshark. Dinoshark jumps out of the water. Eric jumps off of the jet ski. They're like in midair. Eric throws the grenade and hits Dinoshark kind of in the eye or the side and falls down. He's alive. The kid's alive. So they're like, yay, we got him. And then Dinoshark comes back and it's like, oh, he's gonna kill him. And then Carol from the boat with a sniper hits it in the eye like nothing, and he's dead. It's similar to Jaws, how Brody hits the gas canister and he explodes, except it's way less fun of a movie in general. So yeah, that's Dinoshark. They live happily ever after. They all survive. That's kind of where the movie ends. Dinoshark overall, it's not the best sci-fi has done in terms of a fun watch. If you're interested in this type of stuff, would I recommend Dinoshark to you? Not really. There's just so much better in terms of sci-fi crap. I give this one 3 out of 10. I don't know. That's Dinoshark. I don't know if I'm going to make this a 2-part or a 3-part series, but tune in next time when I talk to you about Sharktopus and Sharknado. Ooh, these two are far more fun and far more entertaining, just more enjoyable. I think it's time for me to head out, take the rest of the day off, enjoy myself. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.